Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to another episode of Ear to Ear Podcast with C. Ray and Lanny Mo. I am C. Ray, and this guy on the other side here looking fly tonight is Lanny Mo himself. Lanny Mo, how you doing this evening, buddy?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Oh, it's another day in paradise on top of the mountain, my man. Kind of an exciting week. We had a lot of stuff going on down with the NCAA. We might touch on that a little bit here, express our dismay. We did that a little bit on Twitter, but now we're going to do it in person. But we are going to start the episode. I promised Lanny last week that we would start this week's episode softball. We want to get over it. We're both big fans. Me personally, I love softball, college softball. I don't know. To me, I love all college sports, as most of us do. But there's something different about the heart that softball girls play with. I don't know what it is. They're so freaking into it, and it's exciting to watch. I mean, you could be down 8 points or 8 runs, I should say, and then like 3 minutes later, you're up 2 and you're getting ready to go into extra innings. It's so much fun. But me personally, people are probably going to burn me for this, but West Virginia doesn't have a softball team, so I had to pick somebody. I am an Oklahoma softball fan. I cheer for the Sooners. I'm not a bandwagon jumper. The wife played some college softball. And when I really started getting into it, I was watching all these teams and I just was like, hey, you know what? Oklahoma, they got a pretty cool program. Patty Gasso is the GOAT, in my opinion. She rocks it. She's killing it. So that's just kind of who I cheer for. So Ren Baker, if you want me to cheer for West Virginia, get us a softball team, huh? Laney, take it away.
Can't see why we do not have one. You got the facilities, honestly, relatively cheap. You don't have to completely build. You got old Holly Field over there, and where the Mountaineers used to play, and you just shrink it. You just downsize the fencing, the infield. I mean, yeah, it takes work, but you would actually you get some money back because that place would be packed. I just know how just Mon County here, here Morgantown, the youth softball leagues, they're packed. I mean, it's like blowing up in the travel girls softball. And I just believe that WVU would be competitive relatively quick with you got 6 states right here, and you would be able to find 25 of the most badass girls to field a team really quick with, you got West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania right here already. And the revenue, you would actually, I'm not saying you would make money, but it would be, you would be able to be competitive for one. And then 2, you're in a league that thrives. The Big 12 is badass in softball. Yep. So, to me, it just makes more sense. I'm an avid golfer, and I love the fact the W program, they did put some money into golf. You'll never get $1 of that money back.
Right.
Never will. It's just simple fact. And if you have a kid, you recruit him, and he does well, and eventually he becomes on tour, making some cash, you might float some money back into the project or whatever. But it's like, what are you winning? You're not winning anything in golf. I mean, hell, we're going to golf like 5 months out of the year, to begin with. But that's where I'm at with it.
No, that's a good take, I think. You made a lot of good points. First off, you're right. We do have old Holly Field sitting over there. So, a lot of people say, well, it costs millions of dollars to build a stadium. We don't need to build a stadium. There's already a stadium there. It's already got seating. It's already got concessions. All you're doing is taking the field part and, like you said, breaking that down, bringing the fence in a little bit, making it softball, regulation size. That's all you got to do. Nothing to it. I think, I heard a rumor. Now, you know how the rumor mills are.
Oh,
yeah, rumor mill, baby, getting ready to fire it up. I heard a rumor that there are some donors that said if WVU will start the team and fund the team, that they would take care of the financial side of the stadium and getting the stadium where it needed to be. So, I mean, to my knowledge, not doing anything with Holyfield anyway, are they? Just sitting there. Okay, well, it's just sitting there. Then why not make it? Why not do something with it? And another good point you made: fielding a team. not a problem. Not even from surrounding states. First off, we could certainly field a team probably just from West Virginia girls themselves. There are a lot of really, really good softball players in this state that could probably be competitive at least enough to get the program started in the first couple of years. But I do know, and the only reason I know this is because I spent some time going to a lot of D2 softball games, in college. My best friend, and a girl we went to school with, they ended up getting married and everything. Long story, but she played at D&E. She was killer softball player. Had some records back in the hometown. I think she still has a couple records down at D&E. But a lot of the girls on their team were from California. And come to find out, as I kind of, rode around with my buddy during the softball season to some of the other D2 schools in the state, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's maybe they just can't cut it at the old UCLA out there. But there's a lot of them that come from California to West Virginia to play D2. So I have a really hard time, if anybody has said it, I've never heard anybody say it, I refuse to believe that WVU could not at least field a team. So I think you're right. I think the good question is, why don't we have one? The only thing that I can come up with is the finances of travel and what it costs, coaching positions and all that stuff. And I get that. Like, we don't want anybody here to think we don't understand that stuff. With my job, I have a very good understanding of what it takes to do things. And it would be a lot to field coaching staff, manager staff, travel, lodging, all that stuff when, as far as we go across the country and as far as we're going to go across the country with the new Big 12 next year. But you look at the money they're putting in the facilities, which we'll get into in a second, and you kind of have to think there is some money there to where this could be a thing. So if there's anybody out there, let us know what you think. Up on the old X page, we think that it should happen. Ren Baker, get on it, man. Get us a softball team. Because you're right. I don't think we're going to make money. Softball's not going to pay for any of the other sports like football and basketball does. But I really do think the softball would, possibly pay for itself.
It wouldn't be a hinder to the university.
Well, certainly no more than the other sports are now.
Oh, no.
Right. I agree, man. I agree. I think we should do it. We got to hit up Ren Baker and get him on this. Maybe one day we can get him on here and, a little interview with us and see what he says. But you were talking about some facility upgrades you heard about. Let us in on that, Laney. What's going on?
I heard that the next big project is a new press box with like the luxury seating underneath and around. But if you look at WVU Stadium, for that joker being, 30 years old, 1980, is when it opened. So
when did it open?
1980.
So that would be 43 years?
Yeah. Wow. Wasn't thinking my age in there. Because I was born in 78. So I mean, that thing's 43 years old. And but it's the Mountaineer Stadium, the renovations and stuff through the years, it's not bad. I mean, people act like it's trash over there, but it's a very, very nice facility. It just needs a little bit. I hate the bleachers. I mean, I can't stand the bleachers, but where we're not selling the stadium out anyway. And putting like Heinz Field seating in would take away, like, I think they said like 13,000 seats if they went to individual seating. But, comparing to the Big 12 with Cincinnati, I think their stadium's only like 46,000. TCU is like 52. So I mean, West Virginia, we're like 65 over there, and I think now it's like 63 because they took some seating out with the renovations through the years. But it's a nice, really nice facility, and the locker rooms they've redone, the training facilities. But I've heard about the press box is the next thing to get work done to it, and then the new Caperton indoor practice facility, because that thing is only like 60 yards to begin with, and So I've heard, I don't see that would be a big project to build a new indoor practice facility.
Right.
And is getting a new facility up at Milan Park. And I heard that there's all kinds of arguments going on with that because it's up Milan Park. It's away from WVU. People, Morgantown's an absolute disaster anyway. Where could we build a band facility in Morgantown?
Yeah, where are you going to build it anyway as it is right now?
There's rumors every year anyway that we're building a new football facility, and that's not going to happen. I mean, we are 10 years, at least 10 years before they think about breaking ground on a new football facility off the interstate somewhere. It's not going to happen. And I kind of would have an inside scoop working for the power company here in Morgantown that they'd be putting one in. So that we'd get the plans long before anybody else would. So yeah, but
that will be some breaking news from Lanny Mo here in 10 years, boys.
News that we just got plans for new lines and substations and everything else. Why? We got a new football stadium going in here, and we breaking ground in like 5 years. Oh, okay. But yeah, but our facilities are, the Coliseum, the giant cupcake is what I've always kind of referred to it as. But it's nice. It's old. They're old, but you walk in and they're modern and everything's new, and it's a very, very nice facility. The thing is the parking situation. That's what's garbage in Morgantown in general. Hell, you're pretty lucky to park on High Street. But yeah, our parking is ridiculous. Here's my plan. Between the Coliseum and the Arboretum, you got like, let's just say 600, 800 parking spots. That's fine. Let's build a parking garage and stack them on top of each other. So I don't see why they won't, my wife's like, parking garages are ugly. There's nothing that's beautiful that, anyway, with the parking garage, unless you put offices on the outside edge of it. But still yet, though, I don't see why they haven't thought about building a parking garage there and stack parking and in a condensed area. So instead, they just have you park, which they took away parking for W basketball games along the boulevard there. And, you got now people park down in by Chick-fil-A and the Arboretum and stuff like that and walk up. But I don't know. It's just West Virginia, Morgantown, it was never meant for the infrastructure that's happened in the last 25 years, as far as just hell, my hometown, Granville's a metropolis,
I know. Oh, Granville, man. I miss living up there.
But,
miss living in old Morgantown, buddy.
Yeah, but that's the rumors I've heard with facilities. So
all right. Well, that's Lanny's rumor mill, everybody. But no, you're right about one thing. The infrastructure in Morgantown, was never meant to try to take on what it takes on now. Oh. And every time I come to Morgantown, it seems like they're doing another project to try to improve that. So good on the county, good on the state, good on the city for trying to make improvements and stuff. Still kind of sad that they tore down the house that Jerry built. I know why they needed to do it. And I get it, but I'm like, man, that's kind of an institution for us and the NBA. But it is what it is. I think as the school continues to be in a Power 5 conference, and we continue to make money, but I think it's going to be an ever changing world in Morgantown. I'll never forget the first time I come to Morgantown and realized that Sunnyside was gone. I almost cried.
Oh. Growing up here, Sunnyside was crazy. And both my parents working for WVU, it's like people didn't believe that people lived in Morgantown, But yeah, those were the days, and it's never coming back. Grand Avenue never be back. Block parties, the craziness is these kids have no idea. Rookies. I know,
right? Yeah. Yeah, if they could only see, I remember walking down Sunnyside, walking around Sunnyside in 2010 when we won the Big East basketball championship, and just the amount of fires, the amount of furniture that was on fire, and tanker trucks just going around, just making rounds, putting out fires here, come back around an hour later, put out another fire, yeah.
All Sunnyside anymore.
Oh no, I don't know what it's called now, but it's all student housing now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much student housing. I mean, you still got, the streets over there, McLean, shoot, can't even think. Well, University cuts clear through, but I mean, you still got all the streets, but they put in a good bit of university housing, but it's just not even close to being the same. Not even close.
Yeah, it's not real Sunnyside anymore.
No.
Well, let's move on.
Well, when the Sunnyside Supret went out, that's whenever it was dead. That killed Sunnyside.
Yeah.
So
that was the beginning of the end. But
yeah,
we'll move on to some happier thoughts here. Well, I don't know if I'd call it a happy thought or not, but we'll move on to recapping the UMass game. As we know, the NCAA kind of went back and forth on their court stuff a little bit this past week, and ended up, as it turned out, we could have had Raekwon Battle back last night. We did get Noah Farrakhan. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, Noah. If you ever see this, we're not trying to butcher your name, but we're going to call him Noah instead. We'll just avoid the last name. We did get Noah back, and Kerr Krissa. And, last night really wasn't the result of the game we wanted for their first games. But if there is anything I learned, I think that Kerr Krissa guy is for real. I know, Laney, you didn't get to actually watch the game, but he ended up with 20 points, 7 assists. But, man, the kid sees the floor. He sees what's going on out there. Like, his court vision is, in my opinion, first game suiting up, his court vision was really good. And he's making these real smooth and logical passes. And I think sometimes a couple of the people he's passing to didn't really see it coming. There were a couple times he made a really nice pass and they kind of bobbled it out of bounds or bobbled it into a turnover. And I think it's because they haven't had anybody that can see what he sees this year, and it's kind of taken him by surprise. I think that as the season progresses and Raekwon Battle does come back, he didn't play with flu-like symptoms, I guess, which really stunk because as the week drug on, the big question was, are we going to have him? Are we going to have him for Saturday night? And we could have had him for Saturday night. Then he got sick. I think the NCAA did it. They made him sick. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. But they really killed us on the rebounds, on the boards, and I think that is really the story of why we ended up losing that game overall. We lost the turnover battle 46-32. It's a pretty good margin, and quite a few of those were offensive rebounds on for UMass, and usually offensive rebounds lead to second chance points. So I don't know. I don't really know how to feel right now about the team. I'm excited to get these guys back, but I don't know, man. I'm really stuck kind of in the middle.
Didn't they battle back from like 18 down?
Yes. Yeah, they did. They were down 18. They showed a lot of fight coming back. It's just like they just couldn't get over the hump. And a lot of that, again, I attribute to the rebounds. Of course, we missed some free throws here and there, like we always do. But the rebound battle, to me, was the big sticker in the game on why we lost. When you lose that battle by 14, that's a lot. That's a lot. You don't know how many points you missed out on, and to only lose by as little as we did, it can easily be pinned in the rebound battle. So I don't know. I'm looking forward here. I think there's a lot of positivity left and a lot of things that this group could accomplish together once we have everybody and everybody learns to play together. With the way we started the season, I don't know how you could expect anything good. But if we get these guys back, we get Battle back here at our next game, these guys start to gel a little bit once we get into conference play. I still say one game above 500.
No chance.
No chance. Come on. There's always a chance. There's always a chance.
The other team have to stay on the bus. But, yeah, it's just by the time they mesh, it's going to be too late. You're already going to be, 22 games in or whatever at that point. And I just don't think we have any shooter. We don't have the guys that can put the bucket, get a bucket when you need it. And now you're going to play the guts of your schedule coming up. And I mean, it's just, I thought going into the season that Eilert was dealt a rough hand, because it's kind of like they couldn't hire a new coach. I mean, when that stuff went down. So I mean, Eilert got the intern, but it's a rough hand that he was dealt, and can't. I just think that the best that they're going to do is like a 12-win, 13-win season, and they'll be looking for the coaching search begin. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, now again, this is kind of coming out of the rumor mill. I don't think that Eilert would do this, but I don't know Eilert personally, So if anybody out there does know him personally, maybe they can give us an idea. I heard that he was told that he is only the interim. It doesn't matter what he does this year, maybe short of winning the national championship. That it doesn't matter what the results of this year are. He's not going to be the coach next year. And
I mean, nobody does that. Nobody comes in and says, I don't care if we win or lose. I think he's going to try to put the best product he can out there, but this team just can't compete. That's where I'm at.
I think, we still got to see what Raekwon battle's about. You mentioned guys that can't shoot, though. I mean, Kirk Krissa, man, shot 40% from three last night. He got a lot of I can't remember what it was. I think it was 6 of 15. I think he's going to be a game changer for us. I just think it's the way he sees the floor and the way he can set things up. I think after the guys get used to that, again, not saying we're going to even make the tournament, not saying that anything other than I think it's possible to finish 500 or one game above. Question for you, though. Let's take a walk down a fantasy road, okay? You ready? It's going to be a big time hypothetical, okay?
Love this.
Let's say we get Raekwon Battle back.
Okay.
We get into conference play. Things start to mesh. We start to play. Let's say a selection committee's coming up. We're 5, 6, 7, 8 games above 500. There's those couple last spots they're looking to fill. You think there's a chance because you have to take in before you answer, think about this. It's not just about what our record would be at that point in time. It's thinking about where this team started, the stuff the team went through before the season, playing the first 9 games with only like 7 players, a couple times 8, then getting the guys, the playmakers back that we went out there and killed ourselves to recruit to bring in, and the turnaround as the season progressed, as we got those players back, and as the situation improved. You have to take in all of that when making that decision.
Well, you have to take in. The conference you play in, that's considerable. How much of a heater that you just went on leading up to the tournament helps too. If you're, 7 out of your last 9 going into the NCAA tournament, you made a little bit of run in the Big 12 tournament, something like that helps, and you are a 20-win team, 18-win team at that point. Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps. I don't think we will be, but I mean, if they did something like that, totally absurd, and went on an absolute heater, it helps that the conference you're in and where you're at that point, because they do like seeing hot teams come into the tournament.
All right, well, good. That'd be something to look forward to then, because I think it can happen. I think it's possible, man. I don't think that it's
I'd love to see it. I mean,
yeah.
I ain't rooting. Believe me, I ain't rooting against it, but I'm a realist, But it's one of those. I just don't. Believe me, I don't see it happening. But man, I would love to see these boys go on an absolute heater, and I'm like, I believed in them the whole time.
You go look back on one of our episodes in March and be like, I told you this is what it was going to be.
I told you.
We got video evidence, man. There's video evidence now, Laney.
Boys are good. Them boys are good.
Oh man, well that's good. We'll put that in the back pocket and see what happens here once conference play starts. But to kind of let you guys know, we're gonna kind of look at the bowl game here for a minute, because it's a couple weeks before Christmas. I do a lot of traveling around Christmas. My wife and I are going on vacation for a couple weeks. Lanny does a little bit of traveling during Christmas. So this is going to be the last episode for 2022 for us. We're going to come back first weekend in 2023, and we're going to get back on it. Do what?
Back in 24. This is our last for 23.
Jesus, man. Listen, I got the COVID year, man. I'm telling you, ever since COVID, I don't know what it was about the year of 2020. It's screwed up my conception of time, you know. And like, let's be honest, I was never the most intelligent person out there to begin with. But holy crap, like it just someone's like, I was talking with my wife here the other day, and we were talking about the year of 2020. Like, yeah, I can't believe. Can you believe it's been 3 years? And I'm like, no, I can't. It's just it doesn't seem like it. It's weird. Yes, thank you, Laney, for correcting me on that. My bad, guys. Last one of 2023. Moving into 2024, we'll be back in the first weekend of 2024. So UNC, we got the Duke's Mayo Bowl. I'm hoping to see Neil Brown covered in mayo. It'll maybe if he gets covered in mayo, some other team will be like, man, he can win and come and steal him from us. It's kind of my dream, but
So I just heard literally right before we got on, I didn't even discuss this with you. CJ Donaldson's out. He's having surgery.
Oh, okay. Ouch.
I don't know. He just tweaked it in practice, and they said, you know what? You got to have this now. I don't even know what it's on. It will be without CJ Donaldson in the bowl game for injury-wise. No other reason. No, he's not. He's not transferring or whatever. It's an injury. But he will be out of the bowl game.
Okay. Well, hey, you know what? It's going to be the Jaheim White show, baby.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm looking for him. I'm really looking for him to rip up that freaking UNC defense.
We got him. We got Anderson. And then you got the other big boy, the freshman Oliver.
Yep.
So,
and then there's always Green. If you know, there's always Green.
Johnson transferred this week. He entered the portal.
Yes.
So they will be. Yeah, I'm saying Johnson's gone. But a shout out to Beanie Bishop, Census All-American.
Yeah, baby.
Sure.
First one in a long time.
Yes.
Man, I hate that he only had 1 year with us. Could you imagine having him next year? I mean, you're right, man. Big shout out to Beanie. He was killer for us this year on defense. I mean, he just
had the most defended passes in NCAA. Well, yeah, in college football.
Yeah.
But, yeah, most defended. And so I just think that I think they're going to be ready to play. And I'm going down, and I think we're coming back with a big W. I don't even think it's going to be close. I think West Virginia wins easily by 13 or more. I'm not saying exactly I'm going to say 2 scores, 2 touchdowns. I think 13-14 to 20. I would love to see a run out. I mean, I'd love to see like 45-20, you know. But I just think that we are going to run it down their throat. I really believe that.
Oh, I think you're right. I think between Green and Jaheim White by themselves, you know, and then you throw Anderson in on top of that. Yeah, I think that's going to be rough. And you know, with the way Green progressed through the year in his passing game,
yeah,
I think it's going to open up the offense as a whole, man. You know, if we can get him hitting some of them bombs, hitting some of them slants, you know, back up the defense a little bit, start running it down the throat, bring defense. You know, it's just in and out, in and out. It's like in and out in basketball, in and out, man. I think they can do it. Hopefully, hopefully the cruise ship I'm going to be on has a bar somewhere on it that I can sit and watch it. You know, I'd hate to miss it, but I've been told by a couple people that most of them have bars and stuff where you can watch some sports and stuff. So I'm gonna tune in from afar, but we'll cover the bowl game. Our thoughts, at least, on the bowl game when we get back from our holidays.
For those who are going down to the bowl game, our Twitter, both of us, me and him both can see it. So don't be afraid to give us a shout out where you're at, where you're going to be. I'm just an Uber away. And and not telling my wife this, but I buy the first round. So, yeah, hit us up and, you know, just drop it on there saying, hey, we're over, whatever, or stop by our tailgate, wherever. I'm a social butterfly, and I have no problem tracking where fellow Mountaineers are at, and we'll get down. So let's go.
He is not wrong about that. He is a social butterfly best. I have seen this guy make conversation with a bush. He was drunk, but he made conversation with a bush. So yeah, that is what it is. I'm kind of jealous though. I think it'd be really fun if we could both be there and kind of run around, maybe talk to some people and stuff like that. Before we close it up for the holiday season, though, Lanny, a question was asked on Twitter, and I found this to be an interesting question, and I even put a response to it for our X page. I don't have a personal Twitter page.
Right.
As a matter of fact, in case anybody happens to wonder, until we created the Twitter page or X page, we're going to call it, for our podcast, I haven't been on social media since 2010. I just deleted it, and I'm telling you right now, man, it's been great. I don't miss Facebook at all. Never had Twitter, but in this day and age, if you're going to have a podcast, you got to have Twitter. So that is what it is. Nonetheless, the question was asked: how can, if they can, schools break away from the NCAA? And when we say schools, we mean just kind of the Power Four conferences, because let's be honest, the Pac-12 is dead. And even if they fill the spots, they're going to be filled. It's going to be a G5 league, essentially. So we're going to go Power Four. The Power Four wants to break away. Hypothetical, how could they do that? And, for me, the first question has to be asked is, we all know right now that the NCAA is just, and I don't know what you call it. If I could put the meme of that dumpster on fire floating in the flood, I know you've seen that meme. If I could put that on there, I would. I mean, I don't know what, to you, NCAA, I don't know what you do. I don't know what you hope to accomplish with the crap you do. Moving your goalposts for what you require back and forth every week. It's ridiculous to me that I don't know. Like, I don't know what the purpose of the NCAA is anymore, other than to just piss people off.
Yeah.
In any case, first thing is, as much as we don't like the NCAA, there has to be a governing body. So the first question has to be answered is, we're going to break away Power 5 or Power 4 conferences. We're going to break off. Who's going to govern that? Me personally, especially for football and basketball, I think you might as well set it up like an NFL G League at this point. I think you have contracts. Maybe you have salary caps for schools, for players. Maybe that's how you do it. I do think there should be contracts in place, because everybody jumps around right now like free agents, back and forth. And I also think something that would be helpful is the ADs from these Power 4 schools vote on a commissioner. And that, kind of like the NFL has a commissioner, okay? And that person is top of the pyramid. And he's voted on yearly, bi-yearly contract, however they work it. I think something like that would be probably, I guess it would, in my opinion, would be better than what we're dealing with now. But I think that's, in my opinion, the best way to go. But, what do you think? If you were going to break away, you're Power 4 conferences here, you guys are getting together, you're getting your heads together. How are you breaking away? What are you doing?
I honestly don't even know where to start either with this, but you're exactly right as far as like some type of salary cap, some type of contract, something of that sort. But there has to be a governing body, because if not, you have the inmates running the prison. But it's a mess in general.
Yeah, so. It is. Here's the hoping that, I don't know, crap changes in the future. I think right now, the way things are going, Lanny looks like he's dying there. You gonna make it? You all right?
I'm good.
You good? You good? Okay. I don't need you, dude. I don't need you killing over on screen, man. Because when this goes to YouTube, people are gonna be like, C-Ray did something.
Just clear my throat.
Okay. All right.
Dry heat in the basement, I guess. I don't know.
But anyway, all right, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Kind of a chill episode. We just, before the holidays, wanted to get one more out there. I'm kind of excited, man. I think I'm excited for the future for WVU. I think football next year, like I told you, still not saying Neil Brown's the guy, but I think if we can continue on what we ended with this year, I think there's a lot of positivity there.
I guess the somebody came out with an early top 20, and West Virginia was like 19th, 20th going into going into next year.
Wow. Okay.
Based upon your returners and who they think, the crystal ball projections on who you have possibly coming in as far as, recruiting and also transfers. I think Garrett Green and this Neil Brown, it's going to how the play calling is going to. He learned in the last year and a half on what drives it and what doesn't, and I think Garrett Green is going to light it up, and this offense is going to light it up next year. And the defense they're not awful. It's just the twerks of it, and just meshing, and it's going to be a mixed match. Got a lot of experience out of these freshmen on defense, so letting them growth, another off season in the weight room. So I'm excited about next year, man. With that,
well, you're more positive.
No predictions yet, but
no, way too early predictions. Oh, you know what? Maybe we'll do that on the first episode back after the holidays. We're gonna call it way too early predictions for
way too early. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, hey, we want to thank you guys, everybody that tunes in and tortures their ears with me and Laney sitting here babbling our mouths. We really appreciate all the follows we've been getting on Twitter. Like, I wouldn't say blew up, but a week ago we had like 35 followers. Today we're like at 84, almost 85. So we're really happy about that. We appreciate you guys. Hit us up on Twitter. If you think there's something cool that you'd like to hear our thoughts on. Hit us up there. Leave us a message, tweet, post, whatever the hell they call it these days. I don't know, but let us know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And hey, everybody have a great Christmas, and we hope you guys have a great week.
Happy New Year, and from all of us here, from me and C Ray here. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Be safe out there, and hope we left you smiling ear to ear.